What's up everybody, welcome to Money Management channel. My name is Andrei and today I'm gonna be doing an update on MULN stock.
I got the cash in the bag, stadium packed, born a rock star in this life, gonna live it up.
And guys, I didn't want to do this video today, but we have a mind-blowing news, we have a real bombshell, we have an update and we have a direct opinion on the current situation from David Michery and from Lawrence Hardge. And in my opinion, it is very important to know what is happening right now, and I will give you my takeaway on this news. So, and before we dive deep into all of this, please subscribe to my channel, hit the like button, hit notification bell, and drop me a line in the comment section if you think MULN will skyrocket with this latest news. So, let's start not from the technical standpoint, let's start with the news itself. Cal from Financial Journey made two videos, one of them was made 11 hours ago and it already collected 9.2 thousand views, and the second one is this one. It was made 3 hours ago, it was published 3 hours ago and it collected 3.4 thousand views. So this problem is very important for the community, that is why these two videos collected so many views. Let's start with the Lawrence Hardge video, and I have to say that it is 10 minutes long video and it is not the direct speech from Lawrence Hardge. Cal previously had a conversation with Lawrence, and right now he is explaining, Cal is explaining Lawrence's point of view on the situation around the deal with MULN and with the Saudi Arabian deal. But here, this video regarding David Michery's interview is the direct speech. It was a direct phone call that Cal published on his YouTube channel. And I have to say that these two points of view, of one of them is Lawrence Hardge's point of view, and David Michery's point of view is completely different. And let me start with the Lawrence news. He stated that last Tuesday, when he intended to reveal the details of Saudi Arabian deal, the day before that announcement, so on Monday, last Monday, Lawrence was talking to David Michery, and David told him not to make any statements on behalf of MULN. And this was, on the Lawrence point of view, quite suspicious. And Lawrence stated that his limited liability company and MULN doesn't have any agreements, and they still didn't sign it. And the main reason why it is happening is the disagreements in the division of shares. And Lawrence stated that they still have 51% of upcoming revenue that belongs to MULN and 49% that belongs to him. But he also wants 51% of control of this LLC. And according to Cal, Lawrence wanted because of the Saudi Arabian deal. And definitely because of these disagreements, they cannot announce any official news regarding this potential deal. And in my opinion, it is quite convenient for both sides to make this type of statements, because they are all in limbo right now. David Michery and Lawrence Hardge are in limbo territory, because they can blame one another that the counterparty doesn't do properly their stuff. And according to David Michery, they signed this agreement, and let me quote you that David Michery said, on April 17th they signed a definitive agreement that will act as a binding agreement until superseded by a subsequent definitive agreement and operating agreement. So, quite complicated structure, and I have to say that why in the world they didn't sign a simple contract in between these two companies, and they have this type of weird structure of several agreements with the superseded subsequent agreements and so on and so forth. It doesn't make sense in my opinion, and the only reason why it is happening is just to make it less clear for the potential investors and for the authorities. And David stated in this video that this agreement was signed, and you can find this agreement on the SEC filings by Edgar or any other sources. So this agreement was signed, but they didn't make other agreements that describes all the operating stuff. And that is why they cannot move forward toward this deal. And on top of that, David stated that he asked Lawrence to make an independent test of his EMM technology. And to do it, he gave 3 vehicles, 2 Class 1 vans and 1 Class 3 truck to EPA. And these vehicles are somewhere in the EPA's facility for more than a month. But Lawrence Hardge didn't appear there in order to install his black box on these vehicles in order to make these independent tests. On top of that, David also stated that when the first agreement was signed, and it was on April 17th, 3 law firms were changed in order to represent the MULN, the LLC that has a potential Saudi deal. And because of this, David hadn't an opportunity to see any type of agreements to Saudi Arabia. And that is why he has a lot of doubts right now about this upcoming deal. So it is what it is for now. It is a very tricky situation and we don't know how it will be resolved. But all that we know right now is that Mullen Automotive and Lawrence Hardge's MULN LLC is a 2 completely different business entities. And that is why you cannot rely on this magic box as a potential bullish catalyst for Mullen Automotive. And in general, all this information was declared by David on the first couple of minutes, I guess about 5 minutes. And other 15 minutes of this video was his promises that he will deliver, he will not say anything until the real things will be done. And he stated that he works for 19 hours a day. And he wants to deliver more value to existing shareholders, and he is very passionate about his work. And definitely he has some downsides, but the main battle is still ahead of him, and he will win it, and he will be the second most well-known and the second biggest EV manufacturer in the world right after Tesla. So, quite bold statements, and let me remind you that David Michery, let me show their official website, the beginning of Mullen in the About Us section stated that Mullen Automotive was incorporated by CEO David Michery in 2014 as a successor company from the acquisition of Soda Automotive and Mullen Motor Cars. And I have to say that almost 9 years ago this company was created, and since then they didn't sell any vehicles. Every time when David made some promises, he didn't deliver any of them, and he was keeping to do these promises for a long period of time. Let me remind you that right here, if you take a look on this timeline, you can see that on December 2018, it was a partnership with Quantum Motors for Dragonfly K50. And he intended to sell these vehicles. As you can see, this is the article that was published on April 19th, 2019. He intended to sell these vehicles at the very beginning of 2020, somewhere here. So, this little gem right here, assembled in California, could be yours as soon as next summer for just $125,000. And another statement right here, it is an official press release that was published on October 12, 2021, and it says, Mullen's AMIC facility in Tunica will begin assembly of Mullen Class 1 and Class 2 EV cargo vans in late Q4 2021. Vehicles assembly, homologation and testing to begin with the goal to start fulfillment of existing fleet orders in Q2 2022. So, we are almost in Q3 2023, and these statements didn't become a reality. On top of that, he intended to sell Mullen 5. Even the predecessor of Mullen 5, MX-05, will be delivered to the customers in second quarter of 2022. On top of that, another statement of their vans that was made on July 30th, 2022, and it is again their official press release, that the first 300 fully homologated for the US Mullen Class 2 EV cargo vans can be delivered to DPL by November 30th, 2022, at the request of DPL. And we have a lot of these type of misleading statements, and this is nothing more than just a bold and misleading statements that will not come to fruition. And because of this, you cannot rely on this asset as a medium long-term investment. let me show you that right now we are on pre-market hours and we have a slight increase in its price. Yesterday it reached its bottom at roughly 60 cents, as you can see 60.5 cents, and right now it bounced up a little bit for 2.23%. So I have to say that because of David Michery interview, we might see a small increase in its price, and this increase will be not more than just anticipation of real good news. And definitely David Michery can speak very well and can ensure his shareholders that everything will be okay with Mullen. But in general, nothing has changed fundamentally, and you have to be very cautious with any position in Mullen. So I think that's all information that I want to provide you. If you like my video, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel with notification bell. And see you guys and girls next time. Bye!
I got the cash in the bag, stadium packed. Born a rock star in this life, gonna live it up on the attack. Baby, I'm bad, I just wanna get caught up in this life, I'm crazy, I'm mad. Doing